What is up, everybody? How are we all doing on this fine Monday evening? Give it a little bit of time before we dive into things. We're going to cover like some Epstein stuff, probably. These tariffs, anything else anyone wants to bring up, of course. Shouldn't be too crazy of a day. And then later on, we're going to do some ARC rating and, some Monday Night Jams. People are feeling some Monday Night Jams. So that'll be fun. Should be a beautiful time. Really quite special. What's up, Scarecrow? Yeah, I heard about the groundhog. Got a little bit of superstition for Monday. In the meantime, let me just, while we're waiting on people, play some slop. Disappointment is immeasurable. My day is ruined. Oh no. Because of Puxtawny Phil. Sorry to hear that. Alright, what's going on with this? Is this real or is this just sensationalism? Oh no. Yeah, running out of ink for your printer. Oh, then what's the other thing, barcode? Right? What a dumbass fucking groundhog. Which, this retard? Or the groundhog? That's just so weird. So weird how he does that. His companies are all so incestuous. Oh shit. Thank you for letting me know. God, I do that all the fucking time.
Trump. Now, there was a while where the gap between what we were told about Trump's health and what we saw, there was always a gap since he's been in the political world, but it was a narrower gap. But the gap has widened because he clearly is deteriorating, and they are becoming increasingly hyperbolic about how healthy they claim he is, to the point where the gap is now impossible to miss. Now, the administration keeps pointing to the same thing as proof that everything's fine. He aced multiple cognitive tests. He got a 30 out of 30 on the brain screening Montreal cognitive assessment.
Test,
it's case
man.
Closed, and that is it. And so Caroline Levitt gets to walk around saying his mental sharpness is second to none. The rambling isn't really rambling, it's the weave. And it's an incredibly genius technique to connect complex ideas for other people to understand. But then you watch a speech, and he's talking about who the hell knows what. Everything from, his uncle John Trump was big on nuclear and something about the Unabomber and all this different stuff.
Sharper
and in another
than a
moment,
putrid
during
fart.
a diplomatic briefing,
God,
he
that's
mixes
so
up
funny.
Azerbaijan and Azerbaijan and Albania and Armenia and Iceland and Greenland multiple times. And it happens again and again and again. And then we get to the speech pattern, which we've now looked...
Wanted to invest a SpaceX IPO for the past decade. Now I have to buy into Twitter if I want in. That kind of sucks.
In a lot of detail. His vocabulary is dramatically diminished. He often trails off. His sentences dissolve into, and many other things, as he forgets what he's even talking about. He repeats a lot of the same phrases. He glitches with his shoulder when he struggles to find a word. And he struggles with these phonemic paraphasias that we've talked about before. You can call it a weave if you want, or you can tell people you're smart enough to look
All the Albanians, including Sissoko Down, are in shambles to know they were fighting Azerbaijan.
with your own eyes and decide what's going on here.
Neighbor
We then get to the physical
Neighbor Rooney, were you the one who introduced me to Morgan J? Remind me.
side of his deterioration. You know, the White House doctor says Trump is essentially a robust athlete.
Okay, so I wanted to let you know I have since become a massive fan of him. I think he's fucking hilarious. His crowd work is so much fun. I love it. Now I want to tell you a cool little story. Aurora was visiting, right? And we went out to a comedy show because she loves Trevor Wallace. So it's a Trevor Wallace stand-up comedy show, right? So we're having a great time, and there's 2 comedians opening for him, right? And the first one is like some random guy, and he's pretty funny, and we're having a great time. And, you know, like, we don't know who the intro comedians are. Nobody does, right? Right? Great time. So we're laughing, having a great time. And then the guy goes, all right, so here comes our second opening comedian before we get to Trevor. If you've been on the internet, you know this guy. He does international stuff all the time. Everybody welcome Morgan J. I fucking lost my shit, dude. Because they didn't list. He wasn't listed, right? He just showed up for fun for Trevor's show. And there he was, one of the opening fucking acts, dude. It was so awesome. It was so great. Here's the thing, though. Because he was one of the opening acts, he didn't do his whole going through the audience shtick. He mostly just told a couple funny jokes about, like, book talk stuff. But it was really funny. And now she and I are definitely going to try to go see him as the main show. And he did one, like, 2-line guitar joke just to be in and out real quick. And it was funny. But we're going to try to get to, like, one of his actual shows and see if we can sit in, like, the aisle or in one of the front rows. So hopefully he'll come by and, like, you know, do his thing to us as a couple and everything. Yeah. So that was really fucking cool. Yeah, that'd be fucking dope, dude. Oh, man. So that was such a crazy surprise. I was literally, like, screaming in my seat. The whole crowd, nobody knew he was there. So the whole crowd just lost it, dude. They were cheering so hard. And then there are, like, a couple people looking around like, who is that? What? And then their, like, date is, like, explaining to them, it's fucking Morgan J. It's this guy. Aurora didn't remember who he was, and I was like, dude, that's that guy that I send you on Instagram, that comedian who walks through. May 4th? Oh, shit. He was supposed to be at the Greek Theater. Did they already put them up? Okay. So he said at the show, he said he was going to be doing the Greek Theater soon. So that might be the summer or something. But let me see about his LA show. West Hollywood. Oh, he's doing West Hollywood. Let's see. No, that's Dusty Slay. That's not Morgan J. I had a buddy of mine who used to open for Dusty Slay, though. Yeah, I'm looking at his site as well right now. May 4th, Peppermint Club sold out. Let's see. Event Ticket Center. Limited seats available. Let's say we're going to get 2 tickets. Fuck you. Bro. That's going to be a gigantic fuck off. What? What is that min price there? What? That's it? That's the lowest? Jesus Christ, dude. Holy fuck. He is, dude. Jesus. Yeah, the one in the summer is probably the it's probably the Greek theater one that he mentioned during the Trevor Wallace show. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to jump on it. Man, I hope I can get it, dude. Heard Rogan's having pedo awards with Musk, Trump, and Bannon as the guest of honor. Can't confirm. What? What are you talking about? Is that just are you just memeing, or what are you talking about? Yeah, for sure. Jesus, dude. But that was cool because, like, I was lucky to get to see him for Trevor Wallace prices, you know? I wonder if they have anything. I wonder if they have it. Well, let me see. Hang on. Mm-hmm. Was this it? Wait, what the fuck? When was this? Yeah, I might do... Yeah, we were looking at the Seattle one and we saw that it was sold out as well. No, that's April 11th, 25. I wonder if I can find it. Yeah, 90 for nosebleeds, yeah. Yeah, I don't think it has his... Because it was just like a 10-15 minute set. Like, it wasn't anything crazy. Who knows? Maybe sometime it'll pop up. 120 for floor seats. That's not too bad. The difference there is closer than I would think. I know exactly, Scarecrow. It was the coolest thing. He's always running around. Yeah. God, dude. Like... Because I remember when they were, like, introducing him, and they were like, this guy is huge. If you've been on the internet, you know who he is, doing international shows all over the world, and I'm running through my head like, who could it be? You know, I'm not super in touch with stand-up comedy. I probably won't know who he is. And then he goes, Morgan J. And I'm going, oh my God! Oh my God, baby! Oh my God, it's Morgan J. That's true. You don't have to be that up close to the stage. If an aisle seat, though, you want to try to get those aisle seats. Man, that's so cool. That was such a wild moment. Oh, dude. What a lucky situation. Anyway.
Is what we are meant to believe. Active lifestyle and regularly winning golf tournaments and completely normal physical and neurological function. But then you watch
Cinderella,
and you see these clips where Trump's right leg is dragging as he takes this wide-based gait, and the right leg swings like a semicircle. One of the most viral examples is from just a few months ago when he was walking with his grandson.
$30 if you're willing to go to
experts.
Boise. It can't be that expensive to go to Boise, right? Let's see. When is it in Boise? I'm just curious. I'm just wondering. Just just for shits and gigs. I want to see how much it costs. Friday, April 3rd. Okay. So I get there on the 3rd and leave on the 4th. That's more expensive than I think it should be. And it's all United. What the fuck? Oh, it's because they only showed me United. Okay. It's like almost $200. I don't know. Man, airfare has just gotten more expensive. We can road trip it. Ooh. Yeah, true, Neighbor Rooney, you're right. Well, yeah, but then gas, right? Gas is expensive. Even though they keep trying to claim it's like 30 cents a gallon.
It pointed out that that kind of movement can signal a pretty serious neurological issue. Could be a previous stroke, could be frontotemporal dementia, where a side of the body is acting kind of like a dead weight. We look at Trump's face. Remember the pictures from the 9/11 anniversary that shows what looks like a droopy, slanted mouth with extraordinarily asymmetrical movement? White House says he was tired. Tired's getting a lot of work lately, especially when we were told he's never tired. He only needs 4 hours of sleep. That's all it is. And then we get to the numbers. We've had claims over the last year, 2 years, that Trump is 6'3", and his weight is somewhere in the high 2 teens, like 219, or maybe it's like 224 or something like that. That means Trump's lost a lot of weight, number one, all while eating fast food and supposedly drinking gallons of whole milk, according to his claims at the Milk Summit. So that seems extraordinarily difficult to believe. And of course, if you look at pictures of Trump from years past and now, it certainly doesn't look like he's lost a whole bunch of weight. So where we get is a Trump in 2026 that, despite claims
These are all
endless vitality and virility and strength and stamina,
otherwise I'll just try to jump as quickly as I can on the Greek theater one, because he did say it. He said it during the show, which means most people don't know about it because it hasn't been announced yet. Yeah, gotta be quick.
Significantly diminished schedule as we see and hear the deterioration. You'll remember that when it came out that Biden
I wonder if you could just
was
go
like
for
doing a 10 to 4,
like a 1-day round trip with like almost nothing on you. Like you could like fly like Spirit or Frontier because you're just going and coming back for the show. Epstein files exposing Nancy Mace for giving the dump Trump fellation. Wait, really? Is that for real? Can you link
or something
that?
like that, trying to keep events to 10 to 4. The Trump team, Trump wasn't president then, of course. Trump, the candidate.
Can you
the
link
Trump
me
team,
that? That sounds like that sounds
not
like fake news. Nikki Haley too? No way. Fucking please hit me with the links,
schedule
guys.
of someone
That
that is
sounds
operating
like
on all
that's crazy, right? No?
cylinders. Now Donald Trump is reportedly doing an even more restricted schedule, 12 to 5. Of course, they deny it. But you look at the calendar and you see that it is mostly true. Multiple reports, and we see videos of Trump dozing off. There was the cannabis reform press conference. There was the Milk Summit, cabinet meetings. And the White House says sometimes he closes his eyes. And he reflects because he's so engaged with and so... Sorry, I almost fell asleep there. He's not sleeping, is what they tell us. So we have an incredible split screen right now. On the left side, metaphorically, it's perfect cognition, robust health, an incredible athlete with unmatched energy. And then the video comes in and we say, this guy is extraordinarily confused. He's inventing history. He's confusing geography. He's dragging his leg. His face droops. His bruised hands are covered in makeup and bandages.
The bruised hands.
And he
are
disappears
crazy.
after dinner and sometimes falls asleep during it. So if you just go by the memos, this is a superhero. If you watch the video, you see a guy who clearly is being protected by a fortress of public relations. And so for me, the question is no longer, is Trump healthy? It's who's actually in charge of the country from 5
Thank
p.m.
you, buddy.
until noon the next day? And will we ever learn the truth about Trump's health before it's too late, if you know what I mean? Leave me a comment. Make sure you're subscribed on the YouTube channel. YouTube.
Interesting. Very interesting. Let's see, what else do we want to look at? Clintons are going to testify. Wait, what?
Secretary Noem, you,
No
Gregory
fucking
Bovino,
way,
and your
Veronica.
ICBP and DHS deputized agents have waged an unaccountable, unlawful, unconstitutional war against communities across the nation. Our residents have been surveilled. They've been
Trump
threatened,
impeachment
they've been tear
vote?
gassed, they've
Washington's
been hit
now
with
as
pepper
U.S. House
balls,
of
they've been
Representatives
shot,
conducts
they've been
a
subjected to
historic
warrantless
floor debate on articles of impeachment against President Donald Trump. Move that could make him only the third president in American history to be impeached? What? What the fuck is with this? He's already been impeached. Are you retarded? Okay.
A couple dates that I'll get to you after this meeting. I appreciate that. So look, I want to be very clear. You have misused resources appropriated by Congress. You've engaged in unethical behavior. You have repeatedly made false and misleading statements to Congress and to the press, and you've undermined the separation of powers and disregarded the role of Congress and the courts. Bottom line, you lie with impunity. You reject checks and balances, and you ignore Congress and the courts. Your options are limited. Either you're going to resign, Trump's going to fire you, or you will be impeached. I've already called for your resignation. You
He's
may
talking about
remember I
Kristi
hand-delivered
Noem.
my request to you back in May, and I urge you to reconsider resignation
The description
because
is
I've taken
wrong.
the first step towards your impeachment, and I've called on the Judiciary Committee to open an investigation into your lawlessness. Mr. Chairman, I know that at the end we'll be entering a number of articles into consent, but since I have a few moments, I ask unanimous consent to enter into the record a letter calling the Judiciary Committee to investigate Secretary Noem's impeachable offenses.
They're supposed to have been earlier,
Whatever
right?
you choose, the American people will have justice, Secretary, and you will be held accountable. I'm going to make sure of that every single day. With that, Mr. Chair, I yield back.
Gentlelady yields back. I now recognize the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Luttrell, for 5 minutes of questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Madam Secretary. It's good to see you, and thank you again for coming to Texas after the Kerrville floods. Your team was amazing.
Oh boy, here we go.
Their interaction with the leadership in our state, up and down the chain of command, was outstanding. Not something I read about. I saw it.
Get on your knees, buddy.
I'm speaking from the truth. So let's talk about worldwide threats, if you don't mind. This may go back and forth to Mr. Glasheen and Mr. Kent. My questions, first and foremost, is the nefarious actors globally, they're kind of everywhere. And as we try to protect the motherland,
The
in the
motherland.
cyberspace, air, sea, and land, something that's come to my attention in the committee hearing we had earlier, undersea cabling. And I don't know if you're a subject matter expert on this. I really wasn't until this hearing. But a large amount of our information flows under the water, something that most people aren't aware of, but I can assure you that the bad actors globally probably are. Now, it's multi-jurisdictional.
I don't know. This probably didn't go anywhere, but it looked interesting. Fucking, he called it the motherland. What a fucking cuck. Okay. Dean is debating. I don't really care. Oh yeah, this special election, dude. This was a big deal. Why are we asking the DHS secretary about undersea cables? Because Homeboy is just there to get on his knees and eat that fucking dog murdering box. Oh no. Ooh, bro, your heart drops into your stomach. Ooh. You just gotta be like, I've been working on it. I don't know why I lost access. I don't understand. Oh my God. All right, let's see about this.
This morning, there are Republicans across the country who are nervous. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis put this on Twitter. He said special elections are quirky and not necessarily projectable re a general election. That said, a swing of this magnitude is not something that can be dismissed. Republicans should be clear-eyed about the political environment heading
even
into
Rhonda.
the midterm. What is he talking about? What has him and other Republicans so worried? CNN chief data analyst Harry Enton is here, and this is all about a special election for a Texas
guy. What is
state.
up with this guy? Look at him dancing around like a
What has
goof.
him and other Republicans so worried?
He's a goofy
CNN
guy.
chief data analyst Harry Enton is here, and this is all about a special election for a Texas state Senate seat around Fort Worth.
That's exactly right. Texas 9, because what happened in Texas 9? It didn't just swing to the left, it took a rocket ship to the
This
left.
guy-
My goodness gracious, the Texas 9 Senate District election marches. This was a district that Donald Trump won by 17 points in 2024.
Yeah,
The
you knew what I was
Democratic
doing
candidate in the
there,
special
neighborhoody.
election on
I am a goofy
Saturday,
guy.
won it by 14 points. That's an over 30-point shift to the left. Any Republican, unlike Ron DeSantis, who doesn't take this seriously, they should realize that this is very perilous. They
this is a
ignore
big,
this
that's
result
huge.
at their own peril. Ron DeSantis is right to say, hey, special elections can be quirky, but this ain't no quirk.
Congressman Pete Sessions from Texas basically told me, he said, no Democrat should ever win in North Texas like this. Although he also said, there was an ice storm, 31 points. That's not an ice storm.
He's so
No,
much
that
fun.
ain't no ice storm. If you ignore this, you're going to ice yourself out of a majority come the midterm.
All right, when we look at these special elections, and this is something you and I talk about a lot and look at very closely in between the federal elections, what can they tell us?
Okay, so you see this 31-point shift to the left, right? If this were just one election, that would be one thing. But it's the slew of special elections that together paint a picture, and it's a picture that Democrats should love and a picture that Republicans should be really worried about. Because what are we talking about here? Okay, the average 2025, 26 special election, Democrats are doing, get this, 12 points better. 12 points better than Kamala Harris did in 2024. You know, that was a state special election that happened in Texas on Saturday. If you look at the federal special elections, this 12 points is actually north of 15 points on average. I was looking back through the history books. This looks a whole heck of a lot like what we saw during the 2017-2018 cycle, where you saw these Democrats outperforming how Hillary Clinton did in 2016. And what did it forecast? It forecast a net gain of 40 seats
That
for
would be
Democrats.
huge.
And I remember back in Pennsylvania, remember there was that South Michigan, that was a congressional special election seat, but that was one in which the Democratic candidate was able to actually win a deeply red Republican district, and that, of course, foretold big Democratic gains come 2018.
Foretells how? I mean, how frequently do these special elections foretell what happens in the midterms?
Okay, so you see this 12-point overperformance. You see this 31-point overperformance. But that don't mean nothing if it ain't forecastable to the midterm elections. So what are we looking at here? Well, take a look at special elections since all the way back in the 2005-2006 cycle. Five out of 5 times the party that outperforms in the special elections goes on to win the U.S. House of Representatives. And this, of course, all paints a picture, right? Texas 9, the special elections, the history of special elections, in which Democrats look like they're in the catbird seat to take back the U.S. House come 2026 November.
Which is why
The
Ron
Senate
DeSantis
map
and
doesn't
others are
look
nervous
as
this
favorable,
morning.
right?
They should be.
Thank you very much. Kate.
Hare, will you put your first slide back up as I bring in the Democratic Congressman Adam Smith of Washington to talk more about this? Thank you so much, gentlemen. Congressman, thank you so much for being here. That what Harry and John were just talking about, this 31-point shift in a special election, a state Senate seat in Texas. You see that and you think what?
I think Republicans are in trouble, and we've got a real opportunity in the elections coming up this year.
They have to win all the
becomes
Greens,
very clear Donald
Ohio, and
Trump's policies
Alaska
are doing great damage to this country, and the Republican Party is going along with every single one of them.
So
Whether
Ohio,
you're talking
Alaska.
about
We
healthcare
could.
cuts, the tariffs, ICE terrorizing the people of Minneapolis
We
and
could.
across the country. The president, doing
Those
things
are both
like,
really
shutting
light
down
red.
the Kennedy Center and tearing down the White House, acting more like a monarch than a Democratic.
Still, if we
elected
close,
president. All of that is
look at that.
incredibly unpopular, number one. Number two, people have rallied all across this country. Millions of people have showed up to protest these policies. And also, don't look now, but the Democratic Party actually is messaging fairly effectively. Our leadership, during the government shutdown, I think focused on healthcare, focused on what Trump was doing in a very effective way. Now, the elections are a long way away. We got a lot of work to do, but certainly right now, the Republican Party is in deep trouble.
And for some context here, you have been one who has been a vocal Democrat, speaking out to say the Democrats need to get their message straight ever since the 24 election. You came on shortly after that to lay out your prescription for we basically
files?
Democrats need to get their act together. So
I mean, here and there, sure. Why? Did you have something you wanted to take a look at?
text around your commentary here.
We are looking at different
One
things.
more thing,
yeah.
Democrats scored a pair of surprising special election wins in
Ranked
Texas
choice.
and Houston.
If I remember
Christian
correctly. Every
Menifee
state
won
race
a
has the same
House
points
race,
between Dems
narrowing
and
the
still only
slim
have 59
Republican
seats.
majority.
Yeah, but there's just one. All you need is like what? One person? All right, what do we got? Let's see which file this is. Copy. Paste it and go. Farage, Epstein files, 42 times. Ooh. What is this? What am I finding? Might be taking the DOJ files down soon. Why can't I just wait? Let me just go to the fucking Epstein files search. Okay. Epstein library. Yes, I am 18 years or older. You're welcome. Cool. Jesus. Alright, run, blank, every single thing that does coming out, you change the program. Cash and blank are watching every single thing like you doing some. Days are very important. Why was blank settlement rolled up to a fund? Forced her to sign. Knows exactly what I'm talking about because she actually lent both of us money for food. You see, it doesn't look good. Does it? Had to beg every month like a fucking dog to get her settlement monthly payment from her IWN compensation fund. Now, who represented redacted? It was murdered fucking fact. Is this the same attorney who also represented redacted? Who redacted fired as soon as she found out? Hey, redacted, where's all of redacted journals? So if redacted said redacted, told her she had sex with Prince Andrew, but at the same time had to beg for money each month from her own settlement awarded to her from the fund, set up by a lawyer who she fired because he represented redacted, conflict of interest. If I was a judge or an attorney, I would ask redacted. She was being extorted for her testimony. Actually, that's exactly what it wasn't. It redacted because if I was a judge and knew this, redacted testimony would have been immediately thrown out of court. The attorneys investigated immediately. Okay. Alright, it's still heavily redacted as you just pulled up 53 pages of the only names that aren't redacted. is Trump, Epstein, some reporters, and someone named Gail that I think is Maxwell. Not sure. Okay. Yeah, is there like one particular page that's really important or a section to hone in on? Because if we're looking at 53 pages, let me know if there's like something in here that's particularly... Oh, Jesus. Huh. Lena Haba. President can Cash investigate. This is, I mean, this is all recent shit, right? Yeah, these are all 25. This is when Trump is already in office again. Yeah, they've fucked up a lot of stuff on redactions. Page 24. Wait, so let's see. This is 38. So 52. I feel sorry when my hair goes on two children here. I thought I had this picture up on the report. Trust everything. Everything in the first trial of the scene. Everything has been falsified in order to gaslight her own children who don't want her to talk. Don't want to talk to her. Heaven help you all. Oh my God. Reading this is fucking difficult with all these caps and like it's just frustrating emails. Okay. Hi, me again. So I'm just checking out something here. What type of school bus is it? It's just that on Saturday and Sunday schools are closed. So was the bus a Sunday school bus or another school bus on a Sunday? Someone in intensive care wouldn't be wearing a pretty little white top again with jewelry, I know, because redacted. So please, can you clarify this to us? Also, massive apologies to the Prince of Wales, our future queen, for using her maiden name in my previous email. Absolutely exhausted. Seriously, any spare decoration will be here also available for bar mitzvahs or rad parties. So, redacted, who goes sister, I'll get my story out there. You have no need for redacted anymore. As she's dead in 3 days. Is this MTG? I thought I was on. Oh, fucking. Okay. Hi, Blank and Blank. Blank, you are a scumbag, and what makes it worse is that we... Blank, I even wrote a beautiful personal message when I gave you my book. I remember I was having a shitty day, that day and couldn't stop crying when we met. What a chop I feel. You're a cunt, Blank, and you will have to explain yourself along with every other journalist in this sordid affair. Or did you think I was writing for the good of my health? All of you also suppressed this information during election year. Suppression of Hunter Biden's laptop, too, from the media won't come close to the repercussions when all of you are held accountable for each of your roles and what's happened. The public deserve to know the truth, and they certainly need to know the truth about the media's role in concealing Epstein's and co. crimes for decades. What? I hope Kash Patel interviews each one of you, because this is and always was an ongoing criminal case to which each of you have perverted the course of justice. Whilst you are being interviewed and under investigation, every single one of you should lose your journalist's license, or a journalist untouchable and never to be held to account. Oh, so weird how I'm utterly canceled. Oh, it is Marjorie. The very media that interviewed me, also so weird that every article written were fact-checked by their own legal department. Why the silence, guys? You are one of the journalists I'm reporting, including every journalist that's been included in the correspondence for over a year now. Every journalist that aided and abetted this pedophile sex trafficking ring will be held accountable. My promise to every single journalist that I sat silent. Okay. Jean-Luc Bruno is the biggest distributor of Eastern European girls sold into sex trafficking to work in the escorting industry in the UK. I even know to whom, Bella, because I met her in North London. Most you can't click, just try to copy paste. It's just cooked, yeah. I have zero fear of judgment, zero tolerance. I'm very honest and open about my past, and in no way does that justify being raped and trafficked by Epstein and co., what Adam Castellani did, or the horrific abuse suffered at the hands of the attorneys. But that can be hashed out in a court of law, not in emails to space where no one reads. You must know every single person who I have met in the last 8 years is going to be dragged on the stand. Why? Because as you know, that is my legal right to do. Why did you never hold Ehud Barak accountable? For God's sake. This is so... this is so fucked. And just evidence for being from the person's iPad. Want to play the new crime civil rights update. It sounds like Nikki Haley got the Warhammer Gok 40k. Here's the link from page 24. Cool. I was told, not get Tack Dog Marjorie Taylor Greene, to go back to your own country because I'm British. Here's what it reveals about. Yeah, but you did do that shit, dumbass. You were acting like a spoiled, petulant little fucking twat. Oh. So what's this Ehud Barak shit? Bro, I cannot get this link. For the fucking life of me. Copy. Paste. Neighbor Rooney, see if you can snag this one for me too, bud. You and Blank went to Israel regularly whilst you were representing Blank and myself. What were those trips for? I can forgive MTG for being a retard, but I will never support her public ignorance and propaganda. True. Oh. No. Fuck me. Alright, let me just get through this Epstein shit, okay? Let me just get through this shit and then I'll give you the fucking chicken dance. Fuck! God damn it. Yeah, can you throw that my way, neighbor Rudy? You and Blank went to Israel. You got glasses on. You got it, buddy. Went to Israel regularly whilst you were representing Blank and myself. What were those trips for? Blank told me and wanted to come straight from Israel to Spain once. It was at the stage where Blank was trying Blank. Page 31, 32, when you can, it's you've just been tied to... I'm not tied to anything. They just paid chat points to make me do a chicken dance. I can finish the serious stuff before I do the chicken dance. Don't worry about it. I told Blank about it, and he didn't know about Blank trip. Now, don't you lie. Blank, you will remember that well amounts everything else you have done. What is that? Yeah. Blank will tell you, Blank, and many, many more people. Blank, so Rupert, you're old and more than likely going to die. Oh, Rupert Murdoch. Soon, too, just like the Pope. Please, can you not die, Rupert, before I destroy you? For you two have met your match. You're going to be held accountable, my friend. All caps? Who the fuck is this? Is this Marjorie Greene, too? 0 p.m. Netanyahu speaking about the Epstein list while putting all the blame on Ehud Barak. For some reason, Ehud Barak is repeatedly invited to the studios. Strangely, he's not asked a single question on the subject because the media channels are not news channels. They are fake channels. They lie to the public in collaboration with the deep state. Oh boy, that sounds familiar. sounds just like Trump. Bro, wait a minute. I'm sorry. How long have you been fucking prime minister for? How are you going to call that the deep state? You've been the prime minister of Israel for a total of how many fucking years? Totaling 15 years, dog. What are you talking about? You could die after that, because I want you to die knowing that every sort of... Oh, that's spelling mistakes. Thing you have done in your life will be out there. Your legacy dead, for the truth will set you free, Rupert. Incidentally, that whole Elizabeth Holmes case should have been thrown out, too. There's a legit woman in the Caribbean that claims she witnessed dismemberment of children. Maybe you're not in a video game, and she died the next day. I hate conspiracies, but man, some of this is just mind-bending. Link me, buddy. Elizabeth Holmes. Yeah. Okay. Why should the Elizabeth Holmes case have been thrown out? What the fuck is she talking about? This chick lied, defrauded investors, and what do you mean that should have been thrown out? What? Why was blank not held accountable for again having a conflict of interest? You can't hold Elizabeth Holmes accountable on behalf of people who are breaking the law himself? It seems to me that your whole legal career has been one big lie, because the only reason you have the wealth you do is by breaking the law, and for decades. Kash Patel, I would like to report Rupert and Lachlan for investigation. Who is this person? I also believe, Rupert, you like your mate blank profited off the Epstein victims by doing backroom deals with the perpetrators and giving their names out of the media. Cash, please, can you get a warrant so you can check all their financials? Oh, no doubt they all JP Morgan clients. This seems like the fucking crazy ramblings of somebody, no? Yeah, I think this person's talking to Elon Musk. Okay. So let's go 31. White South Africa is a wonderful, inclusive clip I want everyone to watch. President Trump, President Putin, and President Netanyahu. Please, my darlings, would you care to join me on a trip to blank, FY the blank, so Dick don't get any funny ideas? Seriously, it'd be fun. I'm actually very boring in real life. I do actually have a whole other life away from this Epstein saga, and would very much for you to meet the real blank. The one who is loving, doesn't swear, blank, who puts other people, including starters, before myself. Please, I have so much beauty to show you. Now, who trafficked whom? I want you to answer that question. Even though she helped traffic me, do I still have to bend the knee? Surly, Oprah, Gail King, and blank. Hey, bitches, I want all of you investigated, and blank you align with blank from, I think it's Align, right? The G and then they're switched. With blank from HarperCollins. You all are fucked because blank, I'm reporting you all. President Trump, please can you assist with the FCA and the Security Exchange Commission on any financial activity between the banned defendants Cyril Ramaphosa and the ANC, Zelensky, Macron, and the blank. Cyril Epstein was trafficking out of blank fact. Cyril, how many girls, all white, have been trafficked out of blank, and the promise of things like needle. This person spent Christmas Day 2006 in Epstein's apartment with a redacted person. Okay. Context abroad. This is Leslie Groff's email. President Trump has please look out of my fear anymore. Trump, please, can you send cash to the FBI? Raid all the modeling agencies in blank. Fuck you, Cyril, you racist pig. You're the racist pig, not us. How many girls have been trafficked out of blank? Please, President Trump and Putin, can you work together? Fuck you, Zelensky. You punk, I see you. You cannot hide. Can the FCA and Security Exchange investigate all payments and audit the shit out of the Clinton Foundation and every single thing they've done in my home? Blank. I want to know exactly what the Clintons were doing and are still doing now. So, Cyril, why do you want to talk to Zelensky all of a sudden? Hey, and I hope Ty Bibster, Netanyahu, is getting in on all this. So perhaps we can file and get an international warrant of arrest for Macron, Cyril, Zelensky, Rishi Sunak, and Keir Starmer for sex trafficking young women and children. Please can someone add Cyril to this picture attached? All in bed together like one sick trafficking family. You all make me sick. 34. Large trafficking that is occurring in Ukraine, set up by Jean-Luc Bruno, want all your assets investigated at J.P. Morgan. One Mother Modeling Agency. I'm very aware how lucrative trafficking is. One Mother. Oh. Okay. So she's alleging this is a front for trafficking? I don't know. Obviously, you can't fucking tell just by looking at it. Hear about how lucrative trafficking is? Just ask Jamie Dimon. We all know what and who is involved, and I would like you, redacted, to explain why you and the attorneys adverted in both Russia and Ukraine for victims to come forward, like advertised, I think. Let me explain something to all of you. Epstein doesn't win, I do. Redacted, Hunter Biden worked for you doing what exactly? What the fuck did that disgusting retrobate do for you? He earned quite a handsome sum from Boy Schiller doing what exactly? I want every single little investment and business deal you did in Poland, Ukraine, and elsewhere investigated. This person is like... I don't know. I'm really getting like some crazy vibes off of this person. I don't, they very well may have been in Epstein's apartment. They may have been sexually assaulted and trafficked and all of that. But like, this is not the writing of a mentally well person. Why did you advertise for Ukrainian and Russian victims? So let me get this right. Your attorneys steal from the victims, and how much compensation were both Ukrainian and Russian victims awarded? $75K, whilst you bastard attorneys steal $109 million. You redacted, you matey, I fucking hope and pray you get what's coming to you. Who is responsible for the suicide attempt in Mastebondia when I was in hiding? You are, and I hope you get charged for premeditated murder. You know I was vulnerable. Everything you did was designed to hurt me. What did you do to redacted, and redacted? Well, Cyril, we are racking up quite a group of South Africans to testify, aren't we, Cyril? So I guess, according to this, Cyril Ramaphosa has like a big part in this. You never told me what was in Stefan Bloom's report. Blank and blank. I want to see what my therapist wrote to you. Every single thing you did was to harm me, including sabotaging my therapy and lying. You do know that every single person is going to have their financials looked at, right? Financial incentives over integrity. Hey, blank. Blank, Macron and blank, who is Richard Levitt, the attorney I have never spoken to who wrote on my behalf to blank, telling her I'm not to testify in the Jean-Luc Brunel trial in France. Blank, precisely how many trips, my dear, did you make to France? Blank, Macron and blank, who's Richard Levitt. Mr. Trump and Putin, Epstein always said he would blank, blank, blank. You came close to blank as per this email, didn't you? Please may I ask you to protect them, Mr. Putin and Trump, please. Oh, this one's Elon. Please can you two refrain from sucking each other's dick publicly? Surely you can do that in private. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, from one sense, I can see that too. It's not as much the aggression in the typing. It's the, as sort of like a random person, like writing to these people. Like, we don't know who these are addressed to specifically, how they're sending them, but like I want all of your finances and blah 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 blah. That's a little bit crazy for a person like in their right mind to demand. Can you two refrain from sucking each other's dick publicly? Sure, you can do that in private. Hey, Elon, Jamie, Demon, JP Morgan deleted all of blank in your emails. That is illegal. Jamie Demon, you're a fucking monster. The whole litigation is bullshit. We're the other 200 Epstein victims. Elon, while Trump and Gash Patel, they're going to hold the Epstein ring accountable. That would mean being inclusive of Jamie Demon and JP Morgan. So you sucking Demon's dick publicly and saying something completely different to what has been promised by Trump and his team to not only myself and the other Epstein victims, but to the world about accountability. Elon, you and Sergey would both subpoena that litigation. Sergey and Gail is Gail King. Sergey and blank were in Jeffries Island just after New Year's in 2007. Redacted, Igor Maxwell Miles, and redacted, oh, that's Ghislaine Maxwell, right? We're all witnesses because they were all there. I have the original disc that Jean-Luc Brunel gave me, all time-stamped. He also gave a disc to Redacted and Redacted. You know all this, so what's going on? And as I am part of the class, I suggest you start answering some serious questions. Because not only did you get your legal fees paid, you and the other attorneys profited $109 million, which was for us, the victims. As you were my attorney, I demand you answer for yourself. Come on, blank. Hey, big boy, you can discredit me privately, grow a fucking pair of balls, and you write an op-ed like blank wrote on my behalf on how you saved me to help your image when the Harvey Weinstein stuff came out. So, blank, how exactly did you save me then? And you say what you need to say, but publicly, you fucking coward. What exactly did you legally do on my behalf over the many years of representation other than pervert the course of justice and silence me? This is to David Boyes. Also, what common interest could you and Pope Francis have other than doing the same thing you have done to the Catholic victims, like the Epstein victims, like the Meta victims? So best you get talking, I'm not sure what, I mean, clearly that's supposed to be a play on David, but I wonder what it's, I don't know what that means. Overall, my litigation document. Alright. This is a lot more of the same, it looks like. Oh, God. Let's see. Oh, we'll take a quick Mika break. Take a quick Mika break. Hey, baby. You want to come and say hello? Post on X basically confirming that the admin is going to say there was foreign interference in VA. Of course. Mika, are they going to provide any evidence? Come here, baby. Oh, yeah. Happy girl. How you doing? How you doing, baby? Go ahead. You happy girl? You happy girl? Give me that paw. Give me a paw. Good paw. Oh, she's a good girl. Good queen. Mwah. Okay. Go ahead. They don't provide evidence. It's probably the sickest shit in the file since. Well, I was talking about what Barcode said. But let's see. 21-year-old Gabriela Rico Jimenez was filmed after claiming she had attended an exclusive elite party. She vanished that night, never to be seen again. Wait, what? Is this real?
¡Comieron humanos! ¡Asquerosidad! ¡Comieron humanos! Yo no estaba enterada de nada. Que había, o sea, de los asesinatos sí, pero que habían comido humanos. ¡Humanos! Fue de la carne humana. ¡Comieron humanos! ¡Asquerosidad! ¡Comieron humanos!
I mean, yeah, I'm sure, like, I'm not looking at this as, like, I'm just dismissing everything there. I think it's just more like there's going to be a lot, you know, things that are pointing us towards the truth and things that are sort of unclear. Like, a lot of the language was very unclear. For example, they mention a lot of people, and then she's like, you're profiting off of the sex trafficking, which means they weren't actually involved. And there's a lot of ways you could interpret how somebody could be profiting from the sex trafficking, you know, based on how you're seeing it, right? So that's all I'm saying is like look at things from all kinds of different angles, because they can mean a lot of different things. I'm sure there is some shit in this part of the files that is not legitimate, but like pointing towards crimes. But then there's other things that aren't necessarily pointing towards crimes, right? So like she'd probably be like, you're protecting these pedophiles and blah 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 blah, when realistically they might just be doing an investigation and it's taking time or things like that, right? There's all kinds of ways that you can interpret this, and this is somebody who's clearly very upset, who's likely been through some very traumatic shit. And if I were in that situation, I would probably want justice to come more quickly than it would in a normal investigation. So I could see a lot of different ways where this could make it seem like one thing, but then when you like think about it within context, there's other ways to think of it. But there's definitely things in here that are specifically talking about certain people being involved as well. Wait, let me see this again. Okay. For Australian witness, African Americans white blonde people were bleeding of a type of ritualistic sacrifice, which his feet were cut, scimitar, but left no scarring. On the yacht, he witnessed babies being dismembered, their intestines removed, and individuals eating the feces from these intestines. Also raped by Bush 1. FBI building by Michael Moore, who's a creator of True Pundit. By multiple online sources, conspiracy-driven news website that attempts to paint the FBI in a bad light, or as a criminal record as a result of FBI investigation. We know if you discuss former FBI agents called into the head office. That's crazy, though, right? Jesus. Oh, yeah, that's pretty fucked, if real. But that's wild. I mean, like, that is some wild shit. That's a tough one to believe, you know, but fuck. I don't want to write it off. I saw her reaction. It was crazy. Yeah, I know. She went missing the next day. From Cuba, yeah. Just FYI, two things. Number one, there's two explanations here. Number one, she could have been in a drug-fueled fucking hallucinatory or psychotic episode, or just a hallucinatory psychotic episode and then disappeared because she was having a psychotic episode and ended up in a bad spot and died. Or it could be that what she was saying was a reference to something that actually happened. Yeah, could be schizophrenia. Yeah. You just don't know. There are explanations that could fit, right? We just don't know what they are. We don't know which one's true at the moment. We don't know what the reality is yet. We just don't know. Most depraved accusation in the file. I mean, yeah, that's pretty fucking crazy, if true. Alright. It's a fucking chicken dance time. Yeah, for real. Well, a lot of people have some pretty sick minds, Scarecrow. The adrenochrome nonsense is just that. It's fucking nonsense. It doesn't even make any sense. The people who believe the adrenochrome thing actually believe that it actually does do what the conspiracy says it does, because it's from Q. Like, they believe all the shit. Adrenochrome, all it's gonna do is give you a headache. Alright. You ready, baby? Ready for that chicken dance? Sit. Wait. She's so annoyed. Sit. Sit. She don't even want to look at me. You got. Fuck you guys. Go ahead, babes. I'm getting better at it. Oh, God. The things I do for y'all. The things I do. Let me just tweet. Paragraph after the sacrifice bit. In this? Or in the, you mean from this thing? Victim disclosed he was escorted to the FBI building by Michael Moore, who is the creator of True Pundit, described by multiple online sources as a conspiracy-driven news website that attempts to paint the FBI. I think this is a different Michael Moore. Moore has a criminal record as a result of an FBI investigation. Copyright infringement. Let me know if you want to discuss a former FBI agent that called us into the head office. I don't think it's Michael Moore, the documentary maker. I think this is a different Michael Moore. Calls into question veracity of that victim statements. Well, oh, I see. That he might have been feeding him stuff. Fahrenheit 9/11 guy is the documentary guy. He's, that's not him. It does sound like regular old Alex Jones shit. It really does. Yeah, that's just like, who would eat shit? That just seems a little too much. Oops. Yeah, just a little. All right, here, let's finish this video real quick.
President Trump, my message to you is this. You've gone nearly a year without hearing from the people of the 18th Congressional District of Texas. The results here tonight are a mandate for me to work as hard as I can to oppose your agenda, to fight back against...
Wait, what? 4chan posts being included in the Epstein files is fucking hilarious.
And the hits keep coming for Republicans ahead of the 2026 midterm election in the Texas State Senate. Union leader and Air Force veteran Taylor Ramett flipped a deep red seat.
And it seems like Massey's just going to tell them all to fuck themselves on a lot of stuff. What's worse than I think? Until MTG is replaced, yeah. Oh, shit. Well. Hey, Neighboruni. You know how we've talked about, like, trends in Trump's approval? What do you think? It is starting to look like there's a trend. Or am I tripping? Epstein was working with a 4chan owner admin? Holy shit. The y-axis is zoomed in. Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, like I know we're 40 to 60. But also, you know, also keep in mind, when the margins are as close as they are right now, all you kind of need is a small one, right? 4chan shut down poll. Epstein emailed to have a meeting. Poll was reopened with a bunch of new moderators, all seemingly tied to Epstein. Ooh. I went to therapy today and it was amazing. Hell yeah! Scarecrow, congratulations, guys. Claps for Scarecrow in chat. That's fucking awesome. Therapy is always good, man. Therapy is always good. Anyone, even people who think they have the healthiest brain in the world, healthiest thoughts in the world, everybody should get some therapy. It's always good. Yeah. So that's interesting. I know one of the big things here lately is his immigration approval is like tanked. Okay, cool. Let's take a look. See. Copy. Fairly short, just one page. Okay. Epstein search. Epstein library. Put me in the screen cap. Expletive deleted. This but encrypt it so it takes at least a week to crack. Your own name should be part of the cipher. Hell yeah. Well, I didn't mean economically, neighborhoody. So when I get back to the house, Cole is sitting at the kitchen table eating a massive bowl of Fruit Loops with a big serving spoon, watching Love and Hip Hop. This man is like a child. He hasn't even gotten dressed yet. He asked me to wash his blanket and sheets. I do it. We got really drunk that night. Cole tells me this has happened twice before and it's always fine. He says he's like Scarface and shit. I hate him. The remaining few months go by without incident and he gets his license back. Freeing me at last. Mr. Epstein doesn't need me at this time, but I do get referred as a reliable driver to the bigwigs at Def Jam Records, who assigned me to work on Rihanna's crew while she promoted Talk That Talk at the time, her 6th and newest album. Whoa, what the fuck? Yanked? Yeah, it is Epstein stuff. That QAnon stuff that started on 4chan has ties to Epstein. Of course, Epstein was friends with Donnie T. Thing unusual, go down there and on. Fucking side of this shit. Read on 4chan since January. Okay, that's whatever. Post pics. Rami has like 30 grandkids. Blah, blah, blah. I never met Miss Rihanna in person. Just in passing now and then. But I found this job to agree with me a lot better than the others. I drove a van stacked with promotional gear from city to city while she toured. A few times I was sent to pick up Molly and was taught to use test strips to test for purity. If it was not pure, I was supposed to walk away, but it was always pure. There are circles within circles of connections. I believe there is an entire shadow economy strictly for the rich and famous to get their rocks off collectively. One thing I did learn about Rihanna is that she enjoys young females as well. I was sent to pick up 2 young girls and bring them to her hotel room. Of course, I was met outside the door by someone more important than me. It struck me as odd, because as far as I understand, Rihanna is not a billionaire like Epstein, but she was even more insulated and protected than he was. I'm sure a lot of that has to do with just personal choices regarding security, but I get the picture that in this world, influence and money both equal power, and Rihanna, especially in 2011-2012, was highly influential. All I had to do was mention her name and girls would get in the car just like that. Huh. But like, you know, this is somebody posting on 4chan and like, could be true, but it could also be fucking made up bullshit. We just don't know, really. But yeah, that's fucked if true. Allegedly. I mean, how much of the files from this year is them scraping everything they can find? Yeah. There's just a bunch of pictures of redacted, thank the fucking Lord, like new photos of girls on distraught. Whoa, whoa, whoa. How did you come across that? Be careful, bud. That's not the shit, that's not the kind of shit you can just forget, man. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Clearly they used AI to do redactions. Clearly they used AI to do redactions. Oh my God. Okay, I'm scared to open this right now, neighbor Rooney. Oh, it's New York Times. Okay. Okay. No, I don't open them right onto stream. I don't. But if it's like, if it's not redacted CSAM, I just don't want to see that, you know? I wouldn't open it on stream, but I just don't want to fucking see that. Good Lord. Like, how can you fuck that up so bad? No, I know that, neighbor Rooney. You're right, of course. Like, after I said it, I was like, well, neighbor Rooney wouldn't fucking do that. There were some in the first batch too, and they just did it again. Bro, this DOJ is a fucking nightmare. You know what? You might be right, neighbor Rooney. Fair enough. God damn, dude.
And I don't think numerous times, and I don't think they want to see a shutdown in.
Mr. President, are you going to sue Trevor Noah? Last night in a post, you alluded that something could be coming.
Yeah, well, he said that I spent time on Jeffrey Epstein's island.
Jeffries.
I didn't. I mean, he's a lightweight. This guy. He's a terrible. I think he's terrible. I thought he did a terrible job at the Grammys. I thought the whole Grammys was terrible. I watched part of it. It's not watchable. Numerous times, and I don't think they want to see a shutdown.
That's crazy. After all the people and all the allegations, Epstein himself said in an email, I've told you I've met some very bad people. None as bad as Trump. That's crazy. This is such a crazy way to interpret that. What a fucking Trump dick suck way to interpret that, bro. Holy shit. I'm sorry. That's gotta be a bot, right? Look at that username. Oh, I don't know. 369420? That might not be a bot. Who the fuck is this guy, and why does he guzzle Trump cum so hard? I mean, like, bro, reading this and responding this way is fucking crazy. Talk it to me one more time. August 21, account based in Australia. Nope. Just like, looks like a memer. America first, yeah, or American first, true. Dude, this guy's a fucking... Just that is crazy, dude. That is a crazy take. Holy shit. What kind of crazy ass take is that? Oh, fuck. Patriot killer.
Down in.
Mr. President.
Good lord. Alright. I think that's mostly enough Epstein stuff for tonight. I can only handle so much of this fucking stuff on my soul. What else is going on? Oh, what's this?
Let's check in on Fox News Sunday, Shannon Bream's Sunday show, where Democratic Senator Chris Murphy comes on, does a pretty darn good job, makes some points to Fox News viewers who don't hear it very often. And then Lindsey Graham comes on after that and seems drunk.
Whoa, no way. Can you link me?
In the morning. So we will compare and contrast two senators on the same show, on the same morning, very different vibes. Let's start with Chris Murphy.
Okay, so we're going to talk to Senator Graham in a few minutes, and I do think they're placing...
Oh, that could be fun, Barcode. Hit me with that shit. Maybe we'll fall down that fun little rabbit hole for a second. It only allows X and YouTube links with no sub. Give me the keywords I need to look it up. Or should I just copy paste? You know, just copy paste. Copy. Paste. Okay. Oh, for God's sakes. 63% of voters attribute the economy to Trump over Biden. More voters attribute economy to Trump over Biden. 63% voters say the current state of the economy is mostly due to Trump's administration rather than Biden. 53% say it is worse than it was when Biden was president. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. Very interesting. View key results. Slide 43. Oh, 42. 42. We're now saying Trump is responsible for the economy. Yep, up 11 points this December, with the majority say it's worse than it was under Biden, up from the split in December. Do any of them know that the budget that we're under is just continuing resolutions of Trump's budget from his first term? Does anybody actually still know that? Does anybody fucking know that? Or is just the country collectively forgotten about it? Because I feel like they have.
Is that you guys have some agreement, body cams and those kinds of things. Seems to be some bipartisan buy-in. Now, Tom Homan went to Minneapolis this week, said he's trying to turn down the temperature there. He says, yes, states don't have to cooperate, but where they do, it can be helpful. Here's what he said.
The more agents we have in the jails, the rest of these people in the safety and security of a jail is safer for the officer, is safer for the alien, is safer for the community. So one agent can arrest a bad guy in a jail rather than sending a whole team to the community, and with all the hate and rhetoric and text, then we got to send another team for security.
So I just want to make sure, just so everyone understands, what are the words just here?
Community, and with all the hate and rhetoric and text, then we got to send another.
The rhetoric, the rhetoric
and
tax.
attacks?
They're like,
oh, Luke, just shut the fuck up and get to the fucking point. I don't need your snide fucking commentary. I just want to know what's going on. You said Lindsey Graham looks scary in the news. I want to find out.
It's like a Reddit tax. If you use Reddit, you have to get extra tax. All right.
Look, it's very Smith. There's no, I've noticed in the media.
Every time. It's so good. It's so good.
People wonder why nobody takes the news seriously anymore.
I think he's saying all the hate and rhetoric and attacks. Just the quickest break from the video to request that you click the subscribe button. As you know, that's an important way to boost work.
Sending a whole team to the community, and with all the hate and rhetoric and text, then we got to send another team.
Rhetoric.
Okay, we
send
got
15
it.
or 16 guys to do.
So does that sound like a reasonable step to you? People who are in jail going to be released by a state or locality. ICE has said we got a detainer on this person. We think they're removable. Let one agent go in to the jail versus what we're seeing on the streets of Minneapolis.
I mean, come on. We're still pretending that ICE is going after dangerous people. They aren't. Right now, 70% of the people that they are detaining have absolutely no criminal record. What is happening?
DHS says 70% of those they're arresting, and that's their number, do have some kind of criminal record.
What is happening in Minnesota right now is a dystopia. ICE is tear gassing elementary schools. It is disappearing legal residents into cars. It is murdering American citizens. ICE is making this country less safe, not more safe today. That is an emergency. That's why today 60% of the American people vehemently disagree with what ICE is doing, and we have to address that emergency right now. The Constitution is being abandoned by this administration right now as we speak, and so our focus over the next 2 weeks has to be reining in a lawless and immoral immigration agency in this nation. That's work that we have to do in the next 2 weeks. Hopefully it's work that Republicans and Democrats will be able to.
So that was great, right? Breaking down very substantive points in a level-headed way, in a sober way, some would describe it as, which is like a synonym for level-headed and frank, but also is a term for something else. And that something else doesn't apply to seemingly to Lindsey Graham or Tom Homan. And now I'm going to compare that. All right, so Shannon Breen, same show, same day. Lindsey Graham comes on. And actually, before you watch that clip, this was him like the day before, or at least, or a couple days before, very recently, on Sean Hannity's show. And Asen said, "I'm not going to say Senator Graham is drunk because that would be unprofessional."
But they got to see us fighting. We got to give them a chance to see the difference between us and liberal Democrats. In 2 weeks, we're going to have that chance. And I can't wait till John Kennedy gets on the floor and sticks it to them about the insanity of sanctuary cities.
That's just what fucking Lindsey Graham sounds
Can't wait till he comes up here tonight.
So he's licking himself. He's licking.
I don't know. That's just kind of what Lindsey Graham sounds like. If you've been watching him for years, that's just kind of what he sounds like. He doesn't seem drunk. He's just an idiot.
Licking himself a good bit, like a dog. And then here was one other part from that same interview.
I want sanctuary city policy to end.
Okay. That's a little
I want sanctuary policy to end. Okay. So you're thinking, who cares?
I can't. This is just fucking slop. This is politics slop. I don't even know anybody made that comparison on the internet. Yeah, I need to do it. Fucking get her done. Yeah, that's just fucking slop, Luke. You must have had a slow day. Pull up the side by side. Okay. Hang on. I got a good image. What up, Cinderella? Oh, I got a great image. Here we go. Alright. Okay, so we got... Right? You know, I gotta say, though, I'm getting these vibes big time. Pickled garlic? I don't think I've had pickled garlic. Oh boy. Phone number is redacted in one file but not redacted in another. Continues with a set of emails between some Barry Zelen guy and Epstein. I mean, feel free to keep linking. I mean, like, I just stopped, like, deep diving into it right now, but you can always throw in more links. No worries. And, you know, I'd appreciate it very muchly if you gave me a follow as well. You can come back anytime. We're always talking politics up in here. Oh, yeah, creators of The Simpsons was mentioned in the files, so The Simpsons weren't predicting, they were confessing. Ooh. Hey, thanks for the follow. W follow, appreciate it. Hell yeah, Super Mika. Boop.
Island with a box of scraps!
Well, I'm sorry. I'm not Jeffrey Epstein.
Is it better to be feared or be a city boy? And I say, is it too much to ask for both? The truth is, I am Island Man. Epstein! We need a plan of attack.
I have a plan, Charlie. Attack.
Oh my god.
Epstein was able to build it.
Oh my god. On the last round. Yeah, I remember reading about that. That's crazy. Alright. Was used to make that video, 400 gallons of water. A man must recognize his limitations even though I maintain an open door policy and life somewhere. Right there, wirelessly, yeah. I don't know, you heard, what time you leave, I see it before 2 weeks time. Press still joining the hit for the moment, too bad for you, plebeians. Stay entertained. Oh, fuck you, guy. I'll tell you this, it's an interesting scene at the Colony on Friday night at Club 10, and the Goyim in general know how to have a good time. I like to watch, so Palm Beach is fun. Give me the keys any day of the week. Crowd at the Ferrari show at the Breakers was remarkable for its international participants. The women and men were spectacular, so were the cars. That's my report. Work awaits me. Stay sane. Okay, okay, did I... Oh... Unredacted email address. Oh, no, that's already in there. Wait. Oh, here it is. And an address, too. Yeah. True, neighborhoody. For many years to come. Palm Beach address. Fuck. There, you know some wackos are gonna show up there. Oh, shit. Okay. It was Epstein's property. Oh. Fair enough. Address was also changed. Barry Zelen. New York City-based CPA firm, Zelen and Associates, maybe. Looking for good stuff. Oh.
It's very.
Is this? Axiom Capital?
Difficult for anybody to reason. You're going to.
No way. Brian Shapiro versus Andrew Wilson. Oh, I gotta see this. Oh, I gotta see this. Oh, man. I gotta see this. Because he is super unhinged in, like, Nebraska Steve kind of way. I just want to see him fuck with Andrew Wilson.
It's very difficult for anybody to reason. You're going to defend yourself. You're going to
He's a
defend
broker.
yourself. So there's a difference between resisting arrest and when 5 or 6 goons are on top of you, kicking you and punching you, trying to defend yourself when you have
No,
pepper
it's the
spray in your
opposite.
eyes.
No, this is the opposite. This is exactly the wrong take. What's actually going on is this. Let's say you're a cop, Brian, right?
This is going to be some crazy shit.
Trying to get this guy under control, and you can't. You can't get his arms under control. You know that there's a gun. Somebody's already shouted gun. You're trying to get this dude under control, right?
Before they shouted gun, I'm talking.
Andrew Wilson is a Christian nationalist fucking retarded piece of shit. Okay. He's the guy who couldn't open that pickle jar on the whatever podcast. This is Brian Shapiro. He's a radio show host. And he's a firebrand moderate Democrat. He and Tiny, he was like at a lot of Tiny's Charlie Kirk style things. Yeah.
Talking about before they shouted gun.
Yeah,
okay?
he was a threat.
After they shouted gun, he was killed 2 seconds later.
Before that, too. And so the thing is like, they're trying to get him under control. They can't get him under control. Yes, of course, they're going to use heavy force in order to get the person under control. That's how that works. And that
Andrew, here's
is
the bottom
exactly
line.
what they're...
Former Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene said President Trump's Make America Great Again. Make American Great. For God's sakes, the hell. Slogan was a lie, saying his first year back in office was focused on obliging wealthy supporters. No fucking shit. I think people are realizing it was all a lie. It was a big lie for the people. What MAGA is really serving in this administration, who they're serving, is their big donors, Green said in a Wednesday interview with radio personality Kim Iverson. The big donors that donated all the money and continue to donate to the president's PACs and donate to the 250th anniversary are donating to the big ballroom, she added. The former Georgia representative recently resigned from Congress after airing concerns over the future of healthcare premiums and the war in Gaza, citing fractures within the GOP and falling out with Trump and MAGA despite years of loyal support for the president. On Wednesday, she said the people who truly benefit from backing Trump are financial benefactors, telling Iverson, those are the people that get the special favors. They get the government contracts, they get the pardons, or somebody they love or one of their friends gets a pardon. I love how she's saying this like this is some big bombshell, like all of us who didn't vote for Trump have literally been saying since before fucking day one. Like, I know, there's gonna be people who are gonna read this and be like, oh my god, it was all a lie. And then you like turn the camera to the rest of us and we're just like, are you fucking kidding me? Since the start of the second Trump administration, the president has encouraged wealthy sponsors to provide private contributions for political endeavors, including the construction of a White House ballroom in the celebration of the 250th anniversary of America's founding. Green criticized the favoritism for Trump's wealthy allies and also slammed the president for focusing on foreign policy rather than the problems at home in her interview. Many Jim Halpert memes. It's exactly what I was going for, Casper. It's the foreign countries. They are running the show here. It's the major big corporations and what is best for the world. That's really what MAGA is. We are seeing war on behalf of Israel. We are seeing the people in Gaza, innocent people in Gaza, hundreds of thousands of them completely murdered so that they can build some new real estate development. Money can pour in, and everybody can get rich there in the new Gaza, she told Iverson. But that's not happening anymore. Right? That's not happening anymore. And we're seeing a whole plan play out, which is really a new world order. Ugh. God, I hate this conspiracy speak. New way of doing business. I mean, it's true. I can't hear this term anymore and not think of like crazy conspiracy speak. It's a new way of doing business. And it's kind of like the Scooby-Doo meme where they pull the mask off the bad guy. Green continued. Former lawmaker alleged that the MAGA movement isn't really about America or the American people. No fucking shit. Trump shuts down the JFK Center for 2 years for a $200 million renovation, and it's barely news. Plans to close the Kennedy Center for roughly 2 years for the facility to undergo construction. Oh my God. They actually did add the signage. They actually added the fucking signage. Memorial Center. He's so fucking retarded. He's so fucking retarded. He put his name on a memorial center. He's such an idiot. Ah! Why? Why is this man so fucking stupid? I can't handle this. Big stupid gate he wants to build? No, link me, neighbor Rudy. What's up, Casper?
Hey, so can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't changed any settings. Okay, so my biggest thing is that I can't get over the fact that so many MAG grifters, and even before MAGA, just like the 4chan and the QAnon and all those other stuff, all these other grifters, like got famous and got rich off of saying, oh, there's like a new world order and the government is secret pedophiles that drink children's blood to stay young, and all these things, like have underground bunkers underneath pizza parlors. And then but it's all the Democrats. It's everyone but us. But when the actual evidence comes out, it's actually them who have been doing it the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And like we already knew every like it's all projection. They're all confessions to themselves. But when there's actual proof right here, it just, and people still follow them, just blows my mind and makes me have like an aneurysm. Like I'm gonna have a stroke one of these days when I'm just like, you're still following them and you find out that they're actually the ones who were doing all this the whole time. They just lied to your face because they knew they were doing it.
Yep.
I don't know if you could hear me throw my pen across the room, but that's
I
exactly
couldn't
what
hear
I
you
just
throw
did.
your pen, but I don't blame you for throwing your pen. Okay, this fucking Arch, you know what? Considering all the other shit that's going on, as long as he doesn't call it the Trump Arch, I guess compared to everything else, I'm okay with it. I get the idea of doing a 250 foot tall memorial for the 250 years of the U.S. I kind of get it. If it's called Independence
Isn't that like a big
Arch,
thing about history?
That's not so bad. What?
Isn't that like a big, like, really... Isn't that, like, a really bad thing with history? Like, as soon as a dictator has an arch, like, it all goes to shit.
Is it?
Like, so I don't remember if it... I don't think it was Germany, but it was one of the ones that, like... probably... Neighbor Rooney probably knows. Another dictator made an arch, and I think it's the French one. And, like, all of a sudden, as soon as they made the arch, everything went to shit. Like, the dictator came out, and, like, the banners started flowing, and... Yeah.
I know. Well, if he wants to put himself on it, then yeah, I'm going to have a problem with it, Rooney. Otherwise, compared to all the other stuff he's doing, where he is plastering his fucking name feces all over it, I you know, like, pick your battles, I guess, right? I'm sure if Cosmic were here, he would tell me why I'm fucking wrong. But
And you are wrong. He's not going to do it to celebrate the U.S. He's doing it to celebrate himself and jerk himself off, even though he's done too many drugs to the point where it probably doesn't get hard anymore.
it's gotta be fucking disrupt the skyline. That I do wish it was a little smaller. Maybe 250 isn't right, but due to the current financial situation caused by the slowdown in the economy, Congress has decided to implement a scheme to put workers of 50 years of age and above on early mandatory retirement, thus creating jobs and reducing unemployment. The scheme will be known as RAPE.
What? Okay, repeat what you just said. Please.
Is this a joke? Due to the employee notice, due to the current financial situation caused by the slowdown of the economy, Congress has decided to implement a scheme to put workers of 50 years of age and above on early mandatory retirement, thus creating jobs and reducing unemployment. This scheme will be known as RAPE, retire aged people early. Persons selected to be raped can apply to Congress to be considered for the shaft. Okay, yeah, this is a joke. This is a joke.
It's got to be an onion thing because no.
Yeah.
Unless they're trying to
shot.
really use the idea of rape happening.
It's got screwed, shafted, AIDS, herpes, shit. There's no fucking way. This is real. Yeah, it's gotta be a joke. This employee notice, I think it's a joke, though. I really do think it's a joke. I don't think this is a real employee notice. Okay. Yeah, it's gotta be a joke. Yeah. Look at the PS. Due to the recent budget cuts and the rising cost of electricity, gas, and oil, as well as the current market conditions, the light at the end of the tunnel has been turned off. It's a fucking joke. It's just a joke. It's a troll. Sincerely, the Committee for Economic Value of Individual Lives. Evil.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a joke. Triumphal Arch. There's a freestanding monumental structure in the shape of an archway. Evil Corp. Yeah, he wants one. I mean, the one in France is super famous, right? Isn't it like one of the most famous ones? Yeah, there's this one in New York, too. The Brandenburg Gate. Yep. No, that's true. That's true. The Golden Arches are the most famous arches. The Arch of Triumph in Pyongyang. That is interesting. Ooh. That would have been cool looking. Would have taken a long time to get that writing, though, but that would have been cool looking.
Oh, I meant to. I want to talk to Cinderelli because I don't think you were streaming that day.
Cinderelli, get on up here.
The
came into dictatorship after the Archers.
Cinderelli, what was I talking about? The East Wing.
Oh yeah, how they demolished it.
So they demolished it, and I don't have any sources. So I mean, take what you hear from with a grain of salt, because actually get to research it. But supposedly, how Trump said, "Oh yeah, the Secret Service is all about it, and it's going to be great." And adding another bunker underground right underneath it is going to be great for our national security. There's not going to be a single problem, none whatsoever. And I guess the courts demanded him to, Trump or the admin or whoever, demanded him to release one of the reports from the Secret Service that said that they actually were adamantly against it, and having a glass ballroom on the East Wing was going to be a sniper's paradise, actually, and a nightmare to actually like do that. So I guess the East Wing got demolished for nothing, and the ballroom's forever on hold. But all those funds probably still went to Trump. Who knows? I don't know about that one. That's just my feelings at the end.
Okay. All right, let's see this.
But I will say that this was a breaking point for me in the way that the administration responded to it. Like, I didn't think what's happening right now with ICE could happen in America. I genuinely did not think that was possible. I thought our institution, I thought the Constitution would hold up. When I see it and then immediately defend it, I start to go, we gotta be very loud about this. Like, it all of a sudden becomes not like liberal catastrophic thinking. It starts to become very reasonable, nuanced criticism.
I know he's having a good moment here right now, but fuck you, dude. Fuck you.
The administration. They have just
Wait, why don't we like him?
Did you not hear what he just said?
Something about he's a pussy?
No, just listen. Listen to how he phrased this. Just listen real quick.
It starts to become very reasonable, nuance. Like, it all of a sudden becomes not like liberal catastrophic thinking. It starts to become very reasonable, nuanced criticism.
He goes, it's not liberal catastrophic thinking. It becomes very reasonable, nuanced criticism. Fuck off, dude. Yes, like, you're waking up. Good for you. But fuck you, dude. Like, this is exactly what we were warning about the whole fucking time. And you're sitting there like, oh, liberal catastrophic thinking, you fucking retard.
Of the administration. They have
So it's like everything that we've been crying about and screaming about and warning about. Oh, now you're listening? Because it's actually coming true?
He's listening, but he just referred to it as liberal catastrophic thinking, as opposed to him doing the reasonable, nuanced criticism. Bro, go fucking suck a dick.
The most far left critiques of the Trump administration, their reaction to this has just justified all of them. In one moment, all of their responses, from Trump to Kash Patel, they have justified every single and I know people will probably look at this and be like, they've done a million other things to justify them. Sure, and that's fair. But this specific situation, I think, is a breaking point, and it has justified all those criticisms. I think people...
I'm just so tired of, like, having the far left dominate the Democratic and left-leaning point of view. I'm so fucking tired of hearing them talk about the crazy far lefties and like, oh, that's the reason they didn't believe in any of this is because the fucking crazy idiots on the far left. What if you would just talk to people like us who are reasonable and who actually have that nuanced position from the very fucking beginning? Maybe you wouldn't have gone down this dumbass fucking self-defeating country-destroying rabbit hole. Fuck me.
People's antennas are way up, and people's antennas that were not
normal
up
people
initially.
don't get views.
This is like seeing the Epstein files.
A crazy lefty do.
Yeah, and that's why we're fucked.
I mean,
because it's like,
wouldn't it be nice if we got those?
It's like, damn, y'all really been lying to us. Like, damn, like you really lying. Let me ask you a question.
Yep. Look at all of them with their shocked ass Pikachu faces. Man, fuck off. Oh, look, this is good. This is good. This is a great fucking thing, right? I'm so glad that all of these podcasters are starting to wake the fuck up, right? But, like, fuck you guys. First of all, fuck you all for roping people like me, people like Tiny, people like Neighbor Rooney, Cinderella, everybody who Barcode, all of you who watch me, everybody in Tiny's, well, not every single person, but most of the people in Tiny's audience, fuck you for roping us and President Biden, Kamala Harris, all those guys. Fuck you for roping all of us in with the fucking crazies. Fuck all of you. But also, you got what you fucking deserved, okay? And now you're realizing you fucked up big. And you better step up and make it right. Because otherwise, we're just fucked for good, okay? You have an opportunity to make things right. Open a fucking book, learn some shit, and come back correct. Motherfuckers. Gavin Newsom's first words of his inauguration speech on January 20th, 29 should be fuck communism.
Any clippers? Clip that one, please.
Oh, God. Which part? Me ranting?
Yeah, your little rant.
No, it was a cool little rant.
Your rant that, talking about them fucking up Bigley.
Yeah. That was a good little rant. And it was off the dome, too. Oh,
your monologue classes are paying off.
Oh my God. That is what I went to school for, you know. Hugely. All right, let's see this. I want to see Andrew Wilson. I'm hoping Brian hands him his ass because Andrew Wilson sucks.
Trying to do is utilize the force for officer safety.
Obviously, you are defending what took place here, which is I'm mesmerized. But here's the bottom line. Here are the facts. The fact of the matter is that this man has no criminal record. The fact of the matter is that what happened on that day is he never brandished the weapon and he was legally carrying.
He's an interesting random character.
What happened on that day is that an unarmed man, indisputable, was shot and killed. And your defense is, well, they thought he had a gun. Let me be very clear once again.
He did have a gun.
Just because you think somebody has a gun on their person doesn't give you the right to shoot
We talked
and
about Keith
kill.
Porter
He did
yet?
have a gun.
Have we talked about what?
Keith Porter?
Keith Porter? I don't think so.
He was shot, I think, after Good and before Preddy. He hasn't gotten like national coverage like the rest of them.
Oh.
I'm not too sure why. I just know he was I think number 2.
Yanked, is that what do you prefer to go by? Yanked? Keds? What do you prefer to go by? Yanked? Talked to Epstein about delivering Brazilian fruit. Oh. Fucking Brazilians, man. Of course they'd be involved in all this. Yank? Cool. All right. Waiting for Neighbor Rooney to have a laugh. And if Daniel was here, he would have a laugh at what I was saying, for sure. Okay. Oh, another unredacted phone number. Interesting. What did I miss? He says, Anna talking to Epstein about delivering Brazilian fruit, and I said, fucking Brazilians. Of course they'd be involved in all this.
Wait, which Anna?
From Epstein files.
Okay, which Anna, though? There's like 1,000 Annas.
I don't know.
It's
just an Anna, an unnamed Anna character.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if it was like a specific Anna. I was like, this is new.
Copy. Okay. Huh. All you did to me? That's gotta be a translation. Very interesting.
There is a reason why several days after this shooting,
he did have a gun on his person,
and he never brandished it.
And he was
yeah, but the thing
is,
like,
the weapon.
is it reasonable for officers? Okay, when people are shouting "gun, gun, gun," right? even if they glanced and saw that they pulled one off of him,
I
they
am
can't get him under
so-
control. That
Were they? We don't have any
Callate,
audio.
Uni. La mano de tramposo. No me jodes. Who doesn't have audio?
Oh no, I was talking about them saying like, Andrew Wilson's like saying, oh well, it's reasonable that if an officer is yelling shot. I'm assuming we're talking about Preddy.
Yeah, I thought there was audio because you hear them say gun, gun. I've seen the video with audio.
I didn't hear gun in the videos that I've seen.
Oh, I definitely,
Granted,
definitely heard it.
Was it after he was shot though?
It was right before he was shot.
Okay.
Like they shouted gun, 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 and then maybe a second later he gets pumped full of bullets.
Like, what is he supposed to do? Like, what are you supposed to do in that situation? They already took the gun from him.
That's
gun,
the
gun,
thing.
gun,
They had
and then
already
pow,
taken the
pow,
gun. Is the crazy part. Not enough context, unfortunately, but for sure sounds weird. Yeah, it definitely is weird sounding, but I agree, not enough to really put anything concrete
he
together.
could have a second gun, a third gun.
So let's
easily.
let's go with that. Let's go with that. So the theory that Andrew is giving us now is
He could have had a second gun, a third gun. So naturally, pump him full of lead when he's lying face down on the ground. Obviously, right?
he might have had a second gun. He
course.
might have had a third gun.
Sure.
So that's justifying
And
shooting somebody in the
another
back.
one.
Give me a fucking break.
Oh,
That is the worst
wait.
argument I've ever
Hang
heard
on.
in my life.
I'm really confused here. Do you assume that if you're a cop and you there's been
These
a
aren't
gun
cops, by
taken
the way. They're
off of
Border Patrol
somebody?
agents.
Okay, yeah, whatever. You
Oh,
take a
that's
gun
not
off
important.
somebody. You take a gun off of somebody. You just instantly assume that that's it. There's only one. You just assume that.
So if you
Or
take
isn't the
a
standard
gun-
protocol to make sure that you
so
pat them
here's
down, that they're under control,
Sure.
that they're in handcuffs?
I'll answer that for you.
Mm-hmm.
No.
When somebody takes a gun.
No, Casper, you can hang. I love having you up here. I missed you. I miss you. Feel free to hang. What up, Cinderella?
What's up? I heard you
Yeah,
say
Casper, you were saying you wanted to talk to Cinderella about something?
Yeah, I mentioned this to him a while ago. A while ago, could have been 2 days ago, for all I know. And you weren't streaming. Did you ever? I'm repeating in my head. I don't like it. Okay, there we go. Something about the East Wing. Did you ever get to
What up, Daniel?
go into that? Get any information about the East Wing and the Sniper's Paradise thing? I know I mentioned it to you. I just never got around to actually researching it.
I was thinking about doing that, Rooney.
I did not see anything really about it, other than like AI overview kind of a
Okay.
level, Yeah.
It's not a big
I don't
deal.
know.
I just was mentioning it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot. Maybe Cinderella was a better person than me, and was able to actually research it."
Yeah, no, I had not found anything on that.
Okay. No worries. I mean, I saw it on a video. I don't even remember if it was Instagram or TikTok at this point. Like, it was so long ago in my head. Oh.
I want to. I mean, to be clear.
Yeah, no, I mean, I wish I knew more
See-
about it. Do you know like what the implications were or anything? What when you say
There was
sniper's
just a-
nest, are you talking about like there was somebody embedded somewhere like trying to get like a
No,
sniping
it
position somewhere?
was supposedly a court case that happened, and or maybe it was an oversight. I'm not too sure. It was something in the courts, and the court forced the admin to release a report on the East Wing prep, that said, sorry, I'm going to stop working for a second. East Wing Prep that said that was adamantly against it and recommended to not destroy the East Wing. Just destroying the East Wing in general will create a huge problem for national security, let alone building a glass ballroom will be a sniper's paradise. That was what one of the quotes was. And then, of course, like building the super duper bunker underneath. I think they said something about that, but all I remember is the sniper's paradise.
Well, I did hear Trump mentioning today something about $200 million for the East Wing, which was like, okay, like that's.
He has to pay back because he destroyed a historical building.
Well, no, that's how much they have dedicated to the new project, I think.
About 300 million. Was 300 million.
Hmm.
That he was supposedly paying for, and then oh shoot, I have stuff on the stove. Just realized that. He was supposedly paying for. Then he got a bunch of donations from random businesses to pay for, and then I'm assuming we're paying for it now.
Yeah, no, he's a grifter, so of course he's not paying for it. He's just going to take credit for it.
I will be right back because I didn't realize I had that still boiling for like an hour. BRB.
All right. All right. Feel free to stay in here, guys. I definitely want to watch the rest of this. It's very interesting.
On off of one's person, which, by the way, a gun that he never reached for, that is a lie.
Just play some
never been
LNI.
proven, and that is not factually accurate. I have eyes. When you take the gun off of him...
On the third frame after, it does look like his hand moves back to the holster.
No, he never brandished the weapon. That's
on the third frame, it looks like he moved his hand back to the holster. Are we really going off a single frame, my guy?
I didn't say he brandished the weapon. That was not
no
what
evidence
I said.
that he was reaching for his weapon either, so that's also factual.
No, there is that. There is evidence. There's a
I
frame
saw the same
evidence.
video.
Yeah, feel free to hang in here while I'm watching the video or whatever. Enjoy yourself.
You did. I didn't see what you saw. So anyway, going back to your question.
Did you watch each frame?
By your yes, I did. By your
Do
standards.
you want to see that frame I'm talking about?
Andrew, by your standards, every officer-involved shooting could be justified if an officer tells you, we thought he might have had a second weapon or maybe a third weapon. Heck, he could have had a grenade on him. We don't know.
Nope.
That's insane.
No. And the reason you have to characterize it that way is because if you characterized it the correct way, you sound insane. Each and every officer-involved shooting is going to have details around that specific case, and each of those specific details needs to be taken into account before you decide to pass judgment on whether or not they were right, wrong, incorrect, or correct. If it's the case that in specific cases they seem to have justification which is reasonable, and part of that justification is that this person, we believed he had a gun, right? And we had every good reason to believe that he had a gun, then yes, I think at that point you create good justification. Now, if it's the case where there is no good justification whatsoever, right, then I think that is going to be taken into account too. But in this case, we have good justification for their belief that he was armed.
Yeah. So just because officers believe he might have a gun on him is not justification to shoot and kill somebody.
In and of itself,
hold on.
no.
Hold on.
In and of itself, no. I agree with this point.
Let me finish, please, Andrew.
Go ahead.
Now, obviously,
he is not usually this respectful.
We agree that if somebody reaches for a weapon or points a weapon at officers,
I was hoping for more of that energy because fuck Andrew Wilson.
You probably deserve to be shot. He didn't do any of those things. Now, let's just say you're right for a moment. Let's say he was resisting. By the way, completely disagree with you. I've given you my reasons why. If I'm being beat in the head,
they're terrible reasons.
Okay, again, I disagree with you on that.
He involved himself in something that officers were doing. They had every reason to detain him.
How did he involve? What law was he breaking? What law was he breaking?
He was intervening during these officers' regular course of duties.
How did he do that?
By going in when they had moved somebody back from the crowd, by putting himself in that situation.
By helping somebody up from the ground?
No, it's not helping them up from the
So
ground.
what did he do?
It's
Tell
getting
me.
involved in their official duties.
How did he get involved? What did he do?
Because he came close to the scene, moved towards this woman. They had every reason to believe that he was a threat at that point.
They moved towards him. He was on the side of the road.
No, he moved
She was
towards
pushed to
them.
the ground. Okay, she was pushed.
He
to the
also
ground.
moved towards them. You
Okay,
agree with that,
okay,
right?
so I don't believe.
Hang on. Do you
intervening-
agree that he moved towards them as well?
Originally, he walked towards. The police officers walked towards him.
And
After
then-
he sees, let me finish. I'm answering your question. After she was pushed to the ground, the one lady was pushed to the ground.
And then he goes over to them.
He took a step. He took a step towards the officer, and then the officer immediately pepper sprayed
Yeah,
him.
bad
now
move.
again, now okay, so we can say something is a bad move, but that doesn't necessarily justify killing
That's
somebody.
justified for them to. They didn't start with lethal force, Brian. That's bullshit. They started with non-lethal force. They pepper sprayed him, and they tried to get him under control. Now the thing is,
so by
is
kicking
like,
him and punching him, that's how you get him under control.
Yeah.
By pushing him to the
well,
ground.
wait a
and
second.
kicking him
Wait
and
a
punching
second.
him.
By putting him on the ground, trying to get his hands under control, if you cannot get them under
Really?
control, what do you do?
Really?
What would
So-
Officer Brian do if you couldn't get your suspect under control?
Okay, sure. I'm so glad you asked that.
What would you
question,
do?
Andrew. I'm so glad you asked that question.
I can't wait to hear.
Let me start with the things that I wouldn't do, and then I'll answer the questions of the things I would do. And by the
Okay.
way, I'm not one of these amazingly trained 47-day professionals with their $50,000, but I'll still answer your question, Andrew. Okay? Here's what I wouldn't do. After, and by the way, I'm not sure if it's proper protocol to push a woman to the ground, but let's just assume it was for argument's sake, right? If a man is trying to help a woman up, the first thing I wouldn't do was take out my pepper spray and pepper spray him 2 feet away. By the way, you're also trained, and you can Google this as well. You're not supposed to pepper spray someone at close range. It's very dangerous. That officer did that. So I wouldn't have done that. I would have said, sir, if you don't back up, we're going to arrest you. The first thing I wouldn't have done would be to take out my pepper spray. Why? Because that is not de-escalation. Number two, if he disobeys that order and he doesn't obey your command to
You don't
back
think that
up,
pepper spray is de-escalation?
Hold on. I'm answering your question. And I said the first thing I wouldn't have done is what this first goon officer did. Who
Well, hang on.
pushed this
But
woman.
pepper spray is not de-escalation.
How does he know
to you?
the officer was a
That's not
gooner?
de-escalation.
In some instances, it is de-escalation.
Yeah,
but in
because
this
because the
situation-
person's blind, right? And now
this,
they're in pain.
In this situation, it was not. I just told you what I would have done. Sir, back up 5 or 10 feet. And if you don't, then we're going to arrest you.
I see.
Then if he doesn't, hold on. Then if he doesn't comply,
Told him you have
then you
46
take matters to the
days
next
of
step
training
and,
to
and, and you try to
accomplish 6
arrest
months.
this guy. He didn't do that. This officer
He didn't need to.
immediately at close range, which is you're not trained to do that.
Yeah,
And
he
then a
pepper sprayed
couple
him.
Seconds,
6
okay,
months
so listen,
probably
here,
isn't
again,
enough
we
either,
disagree on
honestly.
this. I'm giving you what I saw, which I guess my eyes are lying to me, Andrew. But here's the bottom line, okay? They didn't put these officers on paid administrative leave until multiple days after. The reason why they did that, and the reason why Stephen Miller walked back his comments, because even Stephen Miller disagrees with you, Andrew, and you could also Google this. Stephen Miller said that he believes those officers probably did not follow proper protocol. So even Stephen Miller, who once called this guy, Stephen Miller, who once called this guy an assassin, said last week that he most likely believes, that these officers broke.
Do you agree
proper
that protocol is situational?
Protocol is situational. Every single police activity warrants a different outcome, but
So it's always situational, right?
okay. So do you disagree with Stephen Miller when he said these officers most likely broke proper protocol? Do you disagree
He
with
might think that they did, but the thing is that protocol is going to be situational.
Let me ask you a question, Andrew. Who do you think
Hang
has
on,
more
stop.
information?
Hang on. Let's move back to what we were talking about before. Do you agree that Preddy
Yeah, you were like the
involved
Russian soldiers
himself
getting
in
6
an
days
incident
training.
that he did not need to be involved in?
Yeah, that is
He did
true,
not need to involve
Barcode. All the ones who
at
have
all.
actually pulled the trigger so far have had
Do you agree with
years on the force.
I don't think he was breaking the law.
Okay, that's not what I asked you. Did Alex Preddy need to involve himself in this incident?
Did he need to?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean by need? Meaning that in order for you to live your life, you have to do something?
Yeah, like
Nobody
if he
has to
like
do anything.
if Alex
He chose
Preddy
to do it.
Yeah, exactly. So Alex Preddy decided that he was going to involve himself in this situation while
You don't
he was
have to
armed.
peacefully protest
While
either,
he
but a
was
lot of people do.
armed, he decided that he was going to do this, by the way. So in the course of this action, a woman gets too close to an
they've said it
officer,
publicly.
and he does exactly what he should have done and tries to make space from her.
No, they have. They were just released like today or yesterday.
He puts his arm out. Into the snowbank she goes. I don't think he intended for her to get
So,
pushed
Andrew,
in.
here's the
Hang
difference.
on. Stop, Brian. I don't think he intended for her to even fall in the snowbank. He just looked at me like he was trying to get some space from her. She goes down. He involves himself. And when he turns around, that's a big guy. He gets fucking pepper sprayed, and they're fighting for control at that point to get this guy under control. If he had complied, let me ask you, if Preddy had complied, would he be alive?
The news broke.
He didn't have the opportunity to
If he
comply.
yes, he did have the opportunity to comply.
Hold on. And by the way, just because, for argument's sake, you don't say comply or put your hands behind your back, I don't think he even had the opportunity or the time to do that. 1 second he's pepper sprayed, the next second he's on the ground and he's being beaten. But let me go back to your question. This is why your argument makes absolutely no sense in your defense of this.
Yeah, where's all
Even
this
if it was
beating
bad-
anyway in this video?
Hold on. Even if it was bad judgment, even if your claim, what you're making is, boy, he didn't have to be there. He put himself in a dangerous situation. He shouldn't have been there. That still is not a defense for officers shooting and killing him. And again, I go back to what I said earlier. Even members of the Trump administration, plenty of Republicans now, want a full-blown out investigation. Stephen Miller disagrees with you. He says that he believes they broke proper protocol.
No, that's
They
not what he
have
said.
Just fucking disgusting. This by itself is an impeachable offense. This by it fucking self is an impeachable offense.
What he said is they may.
Why did it take
he
several-
basically said that they may have.
Hold on. Several days it took them to put these officers on paid administrative leave. In most
So what?
situations.
So
Okay,
what?
so
We're
what?
talking about
So what?
whether or not the Preddy shooting was justified.
Yes.
Yep.
And here is the bottom line. Regardless of whether
Not
you
about
claim,
your
well, they all
TDS.
thought you're
We're
also
talking about
making
whether or
the
not it's
assumption-
justified.
You're also making the assumption that these two officers assumed he had a gun because one officer afterwards said, "Where's the gun?" You don't know what was in the minds of
No,
those
it was
two
also them
officers.
shouting "gun, gun."
Yeah. While he's on the ground, on
Yeah.
his back, lying motionless, there was one officer.
Well, give me a
that
second.
put
I'm still
three
in the
more
middle
bullets
of
in
this.
him.
This
When he's lying on his back.
ONI is a much less involved sort of game. It doesn't require as much attention as Arc Raiders, so it's easy to play when I'm like doing other shit.
Do you know what
So if you
panic
wanna
fire?
defend
Do you know
that,
what
and
panic
maybe-
firing is?
Well, Andrew, maybe
Do you know
he
what
believed
panic
that
fire? Do you know what
he had a
panic firing
bomb on
is?
him or something. I don't know. Well,
Do you
guess
know
what?
what panic firing is?
Yes, I do. And when you're
What
a
is it?
professional, that is not a defense. Oh, I panicked. That is not a defense.
No.
I know what panic
You can
fire
be
is. You wanna
completely justified.
execute the threat.
You can
in
you
your
can be
opinion.
completely justified in taking down a suspect, or you can be a highly trained individual and be justified in taking a person out. Okay, and due to the fact that you have sensory deprivation, you can end up ultimately unloading more rounds based on the fact that you have some sort of panic or that your sensory
Clarifies they don't deserve to wear the
perception
uniform.
becomes narrow.
Agreed.
But
A
that
judge
doesn't
would laugh
mean
in your face.
that doesn't
Laugh
mean
in your
that they
face.
were. You might be able to make the case that he wasn't justified in the last 3 rounds, but you can't make the case that they weren't justified
All
yet.
right. Well,
in
here's
this
my
shooting.
opinion on panic fire.
Mm-hmm.
It's for blatant cowards. And
Oh, it's for
if-
blatant
if
cowards.
hold on. Let me finish.
All the
please.
gunfights Brian's been
Let
in.
me finish. Let me finish, please.
Mm-hmm.
There were multiple shots that were fired after he was
Yeah.
lying motionless
Mm-hmm.
on his back with his hands. Now, you've already made up your decision, apparently, just like Christy Noem. But here's the problem here.
Wait. I
You're-
haven't made. Wait a second. I have not.
Yeah, you're
made,
saying you're defending
no,
them. You're
I
saying,
haven't made a determination. I'm pointing
you
out
haven't.
to you.
Sure
that
sounds like you have.
When you make no, the opposite has happened. You are the one who claims he was executed and it was completely unjustified.
Was this a good
without
shooting?
Without any fucking good, compelling evidence yet. We
Not
haven't
true
gotten
at
all
all.
the evidence. Hang on.
I
hang
have
on,
given
stop,
you-
Brian. We
That's
haven't
not
gotten compelling evidence yet because the
Oh, really?
investigation's still ongoing. We could find.
Okay. Well,
we
guess
could
what?
find. We could hang on. Stop, Brian. My turn. We could find out a whole lot about this that we don't know yet. What I'm pointing out to you is not whether or not it is the case that I've made up my mind on this. What I'm pointing out to you is that you have made up your mind on this, even though there's serious qualifiers here that would add to justification. And so the thing is like, you're just throw all that out. You're like, nah, fuck it. I don't care. This guy, I know this guy got involved in this. I know he was resisting arrest. I know that he had a gun on him. None of that justifies anything.
Nope. So everything that Andrew said, first of all, he legally was carrying a gun, number one. Number two, I never said he assaulted officers. You're the one who made that assumption. I'm not making that assumption at all. Number three, I was talking about the DHS and Kristi Noem, who made comments that were not true. I read to you verbatim what Kristi Noem said about him brandishing a weapon. That was
I know you that's don't, different than us talking about the justification.
So I watched.
I don't care about your TDS.
Andrew,
I'm talking about the justification of this incident.
Andrew, I don't usually respond too kind with people that use stupid terminologies like TDS. So we'll get back to the conversation, but I will respond by saying I believe you have something called TFS.
I know. I've heard it before, yeah.
You've heard it. Okay, well, that's what you have, Trump fellatio. So
and you have Trump derangement syndrome.
Okay, fine. You have Trump fellatio syndrome. You're a Trump mushroom gobbler.
Yeah,
now
you got it.
Move on. Thank you. Okay, don't play
You're the one to keep bringing
Trump mushroom gobbler. Here we go.
Up Trump and Trump's administration. We're talking about the justification of this.
Hold on a second. You just said you want to keep bringing up Trump, and you just said I have Trump TDS. So
I said I don't want to hear about your TDS.
I didn't bring up Donald Trump. You did.
You're bringing up the Trump administration because you think that Trump was involved in this.
You just said I have TDS. I will give you the same energy you give me.
You do have TDS. You do have TDS.
And I think you wear Trump knee pads 24/7 while smoking cigarettes.
That's nice, but I mean, the TDS thing works better. But yeah, sure. But I'm just pointing this out, right? That you're the one actually who's making the affirmative claim. No way it was justified. Brian, you have all the facts. You know exactly what happened.
Didn't say that.
Then why is it that you rush?
Andrew, here's why I'm saying.
Hang on. If you don't have all the facts, why do you rush to judgment and claim it's unjustified immediately? Why?
Sure. I'll give you a couple answers. First of all, I've called for Renee Good and Alex Preddy. I've wanted an independent investigation, and I've said this on national television that if an independent investigation found that any of these shootings were justified, while I might disagree with it, I would live with it. Number two, I think a radio host's opinion, which would be me, and the leader of DHS and the president of the United States, what they say hours after the shooting is a little bit more important than some, different standard than something that I say. Donald Trump.
See how you bring up Trump again?
Hold on.
You brought it up again. Your TDS again, Brian.
Let me finish. When I make a valid point, all you say is TDS, and you go back to the ad hominem attacks.
Well, you just brought up Trump again.
Let me finish. Because he's the president of the United States. You can get a little angry if you'd like, Andrew, or we can
What does that have to do with the justification or not the justification of the shooting?
Andrew, you just said that I'm rushing to judgment. Let's wait and let's get all the facts.
He's such an idiot little troll. Holy fuck.
If you have that criticism for a radio host, why have you not talked about Kristi Noem? The leader of the free world made
That's a whataboutism. I'm talking to you, not to Kristi Noem.
And I am trying to tell you that based on...
Am I talking to Kristi Noem or am I talking to Brian Shapiro?
I cannot believe that you don't have a different
I cannot
standard.
believe that you cannot believe that I can't believe about the things that you believe.
Okay.
None of it. It's unbelievable.
Andrew,
truly unbelievable.
Okay, Andrew, you're not very funny. Okay, I know. See, here's the problem.
I thought in your last text message you said I was pretty funny.
So
you can't make up your mind,
Andrew. Well, I was being sarcastic.
You can't make up your mind,
Andrew,
Brian.
I do want to get to the Trump stuff. I do have to wake up early because I'm doing Pierce tomorrow. But here's what I will say in regards to debates with you. And I really mean this, Andrew, and you can tell me if you disagree. And I'm sorry if I'm being graphic. Andrew, at the start of this debate, could have dropped trow and taken a shit, and many of his cult followers would say, Andrew just destroyed Brian in that debate. Now, here's the difference between you and me. I don't give a fuck what...
That's it? That's the whole thing? You cut it off. Ugh. Cut it off. Blame. Yeah, I saw. They agree. I did see that. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. I wonder how that'll go. Well, it's probably going to be closed. So, I don't know if we'll actually even hear about it, but I mean, yeah, you're probably right. Artemis 2 this weekend? Holy shit! They detected a hydrogen leak during the wet dress rehearsal. Yeah, I mean, I would be surprised. No, I know. I've been following Artemis. I just hadn't been, and I knew it was coming up. I just hadn't been that closely keyed in the last couple of days. I can't believe I forgot about it. Farthest human space mission, yep. Very exciting. Very exciting. Yeah, I knew that. I think we all knew that because I've been checking into it. I've been checking on the HLS progress for ages and, like, nothing was happening. You fucking idiots. God, these guys are so fucking stupid sometimes. There we go. Just saved his ass. Okay. Right. This. Cool. Okay. That needed to be done. I'll give Cinderella how it's going to be a bummer. I'm just going to get the Artemis 3 victory right smack during election season in 28. Not if SpaceX is behind. Fuck you, Daniel. Don't queue up Faith in the Heart. Fucking Faith in the Heart. Alright. Oh shit, everybody's dipping now. They won it by 28, then they'd have to use Blue Origin. And that's so boring. I mean, honestly, I kind of want to see Elon lose, so I don't mind too much. I just wish NASA could be doing it like the old times. Head of NASA is Elon's buddy. Yeah. Yeah. True. Gotta get the job done. Gotta get the job done. The mission is entirely different. We're not just repeating what we did 60 years ago. There are so many other new things to do that are way more useful than just putting a starship on the moon. My absolute buddy. The optics are lame. I don't care about the optics. I mean, I guess that optics are important, but, like, I don't care about fucking optics, man. I care about the science. Come on, dude. Like, doing it again is a huge deal.
The leads are weak. The leads are weak. Fucking lead.
I did case study on scenes from Glengarry Glen Ross, so I acted out some of these scenes.
Are weak. You're weak. I've been in this business 15 years.
What's your name?
Fuck you. That's my name. You know why, mister? Because you drove a Hyundai to get here tonight. I drove an $80,000 BMW. That's my name.
I actually did. That was one of the scenes that I did. Why are we overheating right now? Oh, fuck off, Daniel. Messi is the world's darling, alright? How many, neighbor Ernie? I'm curious. Oh, you son of a bitch. Alright, I gotta turn off YouTube if we're gonna watch that. Bye, YouTube! Cucks.